Today we were trying to work on improvisation to see how improvisation techniques or exercises could help us with our project. It's a European project with our European partners, and it's a project to reflect upon crisis management. So we did a few exercises with Rory and Trinity here, who helped because they are drama students here, but we also involved our European partners. There were people from Italy, Lithuania, Turkey, Malta, etc. It's a project called M.A.R.S, and I'd like to hear what you've learned about the use of improvisation in crisis situation.
I think it was quite surprising how helpful using improvisation actually was. And I think especially with the first activity, when you put your hand up and you went to someone and you had to remember who you went to, it did cause a lot of crisis, as you said. And I think especially maybe because as drama students, we're quite used to activities like that, and we might, get it easier or quicker. But people just totally panic when they forget who they're going to, or they get a bit overwhelmed. So I think it really just helped to calm people down and realize, okay, this is not a hard task really, let's just reset.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the exercises were built on trust and built on confidence in each other. And I think at the beginning that was very difficult. We didn't really know each other. Obviously I knew Trinity, but apart from that, that was it. So building those kind of blocks of trust and almost like faith in each other in a way, it's really weird, but having that kind of allowed a more fluid kind of exercise, and got over the stumbling blocks of what do I say in these spontaneous exercises. So yeah, it became very enjoyable near the end. Well, it was enjoyable throughout, but we got the rhythm by the end.
Yeah, great. And the idea today, because it's only early days in the project, was simply to try simple improvisation exercises. So to do with trust, to do with who can take the lead when there is a problem and when the exercises doesn't work. So we talked about leadership, things like this, but also collective responsibility to keep the story going. We did also another exercise to do with experts, and so it's a well-known exercise in improvisation where you become an expert in something that is a bit surreal, like training giraffe to do boxing. What we thought was that it was interesting to see how with improvisation, with nothing, you can very quickly build a story, you can very quickly make something happen with no money or no funding or nothing, just people, a few words and some actions. And that was quite interesting. So we're not applying improvisation techniques to a situation of crisis yet. What the next stage of a project will be about is to develop perhaps different exercises or adapt improvisation techniques to some specific situation, and to help perhaps young people with being equipped in a situation of crisis. That's what we'll try to do next. But what was your favorite exercise then?
Mine was definitely the last one with the being an expert.
He's an expert in koala bear knitting, and she's the interviewer.
Because I think with all the tasks actually, but the humour definitely came through, and I think that was a bonding point. And I think when you are in crisis or you can't think what to do or you freeze up, you kind of rely on the humour, and then other people play into that.
Yeah, I really liked the second exercise, which was about saying something mundane and then having a spontaneous kind of emotional reaction.
It's raining.
Yes, I've been so hot for days here.
I think being able to kind of take the other person's reaction quite seriously to build a narrative was key. And, where the crisis began really was not being able to deal with each other's reactions and what to say afterwards, because sometimes people were shocked by a random reaction. So that was also a bonding experience of understanding, especially different cultures and different people shout for different reasons or are shy for different reasons, or how they say a sentence is different to how they would say it in English, and getting to know those reactions in a time of crisis. So
Yeah, I agree. And what was striking, I thought, was that with improvisation, and it's a well-known fact that if you prepare what you're going to say before going on stage or before jumping in, what you have prepared will be obsolete very quickly, because by the time you think of something to say and you prepare it, the situation has moved on. So you cannot say what you've prepared, and then you feel frustrated and a bit lost because you don't have anything to say anymore. And what improvisation teaches us is exactly this: is to be prepared to be unprepared, and to be prepared to rely upon others and the present, as opposed to come up with ready-made solutions.
Yeah, it's living in the moment almost. That's what I think I've learned about. I don't know about you, Trinity, but about improvisation, it's being able to just put that preparation behind you and instead just go into an exercise almost blind and kind of have wild kind of trust in someone just going to build on this narrative in all three exercises. So I think that kind of grew throughout the day, which was nice.